video get absolutely fucked over by the makers of Pokemon. It's time to get a little fucking creepy. It's spooky story time. I'm sure you're all familiar with the popular Twitch streamer Germa. Because I'm not. I know nothing about Germa. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's a web P? Fuck off! This is just a segment where I get perpetually angry at web Ps. Creepy. Don't fucking... There's nothing to blush at for creepy. But no, it's time to get serious. Let me hydrate, and then we'll get fucking scary. The song is not very good. Okay, it's a different song. There we go. Let me know if the audio's fucked up. I'd like to share an experience I had with a game of Team Fortress 2. It was about 9 p.m. on a Monday. I think maybe 2 weeks ago. And I decided to play a multiplayer match on Team Fortress 2. I signed on and started up the automatic server selection for play modes. I felt like playing Capture the Flag, so I selected that option. My computer lagged a bit while it was searching for a server, which isn't abnormal for me. My laptop is pretty distant from my router. I don't think that's how Wi-Fi works. But eventually it found one. I've only been playing TF2 for a little after it became free, so I don't have a very big server history, nor experience with server mods or servers in general. I don't even know what Team Fortress 2 is at this point. But something seemed rather odd about this particular server. Once I gained access to the server and the loading screen came up with the bar on the bottom right, as the bar got to about 70%, it jittered backwards and it paused. It started going back and forth between 45 and 60%. Terrifying. The game froze after a few moments, and I decided to force quit the game. I went to get something to eat and came back to the game, started it up, and decided to play for my server history. Bro, I'm fucking loving this play-by-play, brother. I noticed a new server added to the list. CTF Play Dead 905. Or something along that line. After the events I'm about to explain, the server disappeared from my list, so I'm going on plain memory here. I tried the server, and similar to before, the load bar jittered a little bit, but it actually managed to complete this time. Usually when you enter a custom server, there will be some sort of splash page to welcome you to the server and advertise their site or briefly explain the rules. In the case of this server, the entire splash page was black. There was nothing on it. I started to think maybe something was wrong with my graphics card with all the strange things that was happening, but decided to continue on. Yeah, bro, it's your graphics card that's fucked up. The game loaded. I selected Pyro as my class. That's the scariest part. That's the scariest fucking thing you said so far. Pyro mains? Ew. Press 1 if you're a Pyro main so I can ban you. I entered 2 for it. For those of you who have never played Team Fortress 2, here's a brief explanation. No, I know how to play Team Fortress 2, thanks. The objective of this game mode is to capture the flag and return it to your base. For this server, there were 2 teams of 6. Upon joining, both teams became full. The game was already mid-progress and everything was working normally. Our team, Blue, had already scored a point and we needed 2 more to win. Red had 0 points. This particular game didn't have a time limit, and it seemed to be going back and forth for about 14 minutes with little to no progress. Occasionally, members from our team would type angry messages to the opposing team, accusing them of being cheap by having like 4 engineers in their flag room with turrets, making it impossible to get their flag and making the game seem endless. So I don't know much about Team Fortress 2 meta. Can't you just like bomb the shit out of them? Like Demo Man or something? Somebody pick Junkrat. Up until now, things have been relatively normal, until I started noticing that for about 5 minutes I've been going around the level, and I've not seen a single one of my team members, nor any other players from the other team. People were still talking, however, so it took a while for it to sink in that I haven't seen anyone at all for over 5 minutes. I thought that it had to be some sort of lag problem. Some sort of lag problem. So I asked the other players if they were having the same issue, and the general response was, nope. But one player said they hadn't seen me for a bit either. You said Junkrat, and I physically tensed up. I'm sorry. I have that effect on people. About 6 more minutes passed, and I started to grow pretty bored. I decided to make one more round throughout the level before I would find another server. I left our fort and fell into the lagoon in the middle and proceeded to enter the red team's pipe network. After the little room underground in the middle of the tunnel, there is a really long pipe that leads to a staircase going up to the base at the end. Okay, bo. I noticed an enemy scout was heading up there, but he wasn't moving. Just standing there with his bat out and staring at me. Menacingly. A strange form of relief swept over me that the game started to work again. And I charged at him, and I began to shoot with my flare gun. The shots went right through him, and when I approached, he disappeared completely. Must have been really bad lag, I thought to myself. I ascended the case, and as I entered the base, a strange static sound started to replace the other game sounds, excuse me. I made my way throughout the base, and as I got closer to the flag room, the static got louder and louder until I couldn't hear anything else in the game at all. This is when things started to get really weird. This is when things started getting really weird? Okay. Alright, so the rest of this shit was totally normal. I asked anyone if they heard the static, and I didn't receive any reply. No one had said a word since I saw the enemy scout in the pipe tunnel. I managed to get to the room adjacent to the flag room, and I could hear some sort of murmuring behind the static. As I went down one of the halls and turned the corner, I noticed that there was no flag room. It was just black. Like the hall leaded into some sort of void. Or all the textures and lighting were reduced to 100% black. Either way. I shot a couple times, and my bullets landed as if there were walls, so I entered the room anyway. I saw the flag and picked it up, and when I turned around to leave, there were no halls. Everything was black. The UI was still up on the screen, and it said I had their flag, but there was nothing to the level, and all traces of the level disappeared. I tried again to get an answer after explaining my problem. No response. I stood in the room, or lack thereof, for about 3 minutes, until suddenly the game froze, and the game ended, but the message didn't say anyone won or lost, and the announcer's voice was all distorted. The scoreboard was broken. The loading screen quickly came up, and it said, "Downloading, Playdead 0090. It took about 17 minutes to download. Oh, we're back to counting. We're back to having a stopwatch out. Good. It was a really big file. When it was finished, the black server screen came up again, and I went through the screens and selected Spy. The level loaded to something indescribable. I tried to save a screenshot, but every picture I tried to get said error, and print screen didn't work. Just use your phone camera, bro. Oh, it's too busy on the stopwatch setting. Right. The level looked black and white and very glitchy. The textures on the walls were some kind of like 8-bit blocks, but like really distorted. It was almost like playing in a 3D version of a static snow screen on TV. I went through the level and asked everyone, what is this map? But there was no response. I checked the player list, and other than my name, everyone else was listed as I am dead 1, I am dead 2, I am dead 3, etc. I've never encountered anything like this before, other than some prank games people made for fun and hacks, like that one Majora's Mask one. You know the one. But this is an online game with what I thought had secure servers. I decided to give it a few more minutes and explore the level. Why would you give it a few more minutes? Bro, their names are literally I am dead. Get out. Get out of the house. Bro, throw the computer away. I explored the level, which was a really large maze of very oddly shaped tunnels. Also, there were no sound effects whatsoever. Nothing I did caused a sound. I eventually came to a really long tunnel with what I imagine was the middle of the level. The tunnel had darkness at the end and it seemed almost endless, as I was walking for at least a minute in one direction with no change to the map. I decided to turn around and go back, thinking the map is glitched, and the moment I turned my camera around, I saw the same enemy scout I saw earlier. Except something was very wrong with it. His eyes were black, and his left arm was rather deformed and bent in impossible directions, and his legs reminded me of a crab. I almost jumped out of my seat at the sight and typed, "What the fuck is going on?" hurriedly in chat. But there was no response. The scariest part about this is that they're a TF2 player. I stood there and stared down the strange scout. After several moments, the other players started talking, but all that appeared was corrupted garbage text. The scout quickly approached me in a sudden, though irregular fashion, and I heard a very, very loud burst of static, and all of a sudden, it kicked me out of the server. I went to check the server, but it was gone from my history. Naturally, I immediately shut off the game, and I haven't played it since. I think it was some sort of prank, but it was pretty creepy, and game hacks don't usually creep me out. Update, July 13th, 2011. After posting this, I decided to play the game again. I went into my server history to find a King of the Hill map, but I noticed that TFCTF Playdead 905 was back, but this time it had 0 out of 16 players. I went into the server, and unlike before, it loaded normally without any issues. It was like 2-fort, like when I entered it before, but there were no other players on the server. Nothing really seemed out of place, and I walked around the map for a while, finding nothing. The only thing I noticed was that was strange was I would hear the sound effects glitch out every now and then. When selecting a character, there was a static noise that kept repeating, and when I went to the tunnel area, I thought I heard footsteps. I shut the game down a few minutes later, and I'll try it again another time. Maybe I'll be able to get some footage. That was nothing. That was bad. I'm spooked out of my fucking socks right now, fellas. That was nothing. Nothing happened. Bro, your computer has hit obsolescence, and I'm really sorry to tell you that Team Fortress 2 is the one that brought it to obsolescence. Very unfortunate. Bro, you got a bad computer. You got ghosts all up in your shit. Get him out of there. That's the end of the story. Fucking nothing. Fucking nothing. That was so bad. Scout.exe. Aiden1492 says, unlike most of these gaming pastas, this really talked about a strange server the author encountered almost a decade ago. This story, with the strange happenings he's facing, apparently made the story a bit more realistic. What are you talking about? It sure was a story. This is the story you tell your friends when you're like, hi, but like, you're not good at telling stories. Like, this isn't, it's not even as good as like Sonic.exe, and that's like a bad one. That's a bad story, and this is worse than that. Because nothing happened. The screenshot I have up on here, like on the screen, that doesn't even appear in the game or in the fucking... That doesn't happen. I need to rate these motherfuckers. Like, it's so bad. God, every time I go to the fucking video games category, Mr. Mix is just sitting there. It's not scary because Scout is a Mets fan. No, that's Germa. Can I find a short one that's better? Wait, this one's called Crabs. How short is it? Oh, it's kind of long. Damn it. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay, short one. This is short. This is gonna scare you motherfuckers. This is gonna make you cry. It's gonna make you cry. I recently spawned a new world in single-player Minecraft. Everything was normal at first as I began chopping down trees and crafting a workbench. I noticed something move amongst the dense fog. I have a very slow computer, so I have to play with a tiny render distance. I thought it was a crow. Sorry, a cow. That was on me. Sorry about that. I thought it was a cow, so I pursued it, hoping to grab some hides for armor. It wasn't a cow, though. This is too goofy. There we go. It wasn't a cow, though. Looking back at me was another character in the default skin, but his eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double-checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He didn't stay long. He looked at me and quickly ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone. I continued on with the game, not sure what to think. As I expanded the world, I saw things that seemed out of place for the random map generator to make. 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, a small perfect pyramids made of sand in the ocean, groves of trees with all their leaves cut off. I'd constantly think I saw the other player in the deep fog, but I never got a better look at him. I tried increasing my render distance to far whenever I thought I saw him, but no avail. I saved the map and I went on the forums to see if anyone else had found the pseudo-player. There were none. I created my own topic telling of the man and asking if anyone had a similar experience. The post was deleted in 5 minutes. I tried again and the topic was deleted even faster. I received a private message from a user named Herobrine, containing one word. Stop. When I went to look at his profile, the page 404'd. I received an email from another forum user. He claimed the mods can read the forum user messages, so we were safer using email. The emailer claimed he had seen the mystery player too, and had a small directory of other users who had seen him as well. Their worlds were littered with obviously man-made features, and described their mystery player to have no pupils. About a month passed until I heard from my informant again. Some of the people who had encountered the mystery man had looked into the name Herobrine, and found that name to be frequently used by a Swedish gamer. After some further information gathering, it was revealed to be the brother of Notch, the game's developer. I personally emailed Notch and asked if he had a brother. It took him a while, but he emailed me back. He emailed me back with a very short message. I did, but he's no longer with us. I haven't seen the mystery man since our first encounter, and I haven't noticed any changes to the world other than my own. Happy Halloween. Bro, that got me fucked up. I feel like if I was a small child, that would actually probably scare the shit out of me. The story is fake. Notch didn't say enough slurs. The story's fake. Notch didn't make fucking Minecraft. That one was made by Miss Miku. Tiki Isaac said, 4 days ago? This man left a comment on this thing 4 days ago? He said, for those in doubt, Herobrine is real. The creepypasta? Maybe. Herobrine does crash games and servers though, still. Because Mojang and Notch never removed him, so... yeah. Thanks, Tiki Isaac. One time I didn't realize my dad joined my world, and when I saw him in Da Fog, his skin is default and he was far away. I thought it was Herobrine. QWQ. Anime Kitty 34 says, "Jeez Louise, this is why I never play Minecraft." Is it too scary to you? Is it too scary for you? What is this comment chain? Al says, please tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this need a better ending. To which the author responded, okay. Creepypasta Boy 666 responded with, swoosh, 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 like a helicopter. And then the other one said helicopter. Sorry about that, that was bad. Tiki Isaac has this whole fucking story about how he saw him. Dan TDI78 says, so basically some creepypastas are real. No! And Herobrine is real. Because Mojang never removed him. What I can't believe is that it took 10 years. Herobrine is like Santa Claus. It's really just your parents. Shit. Okay, all things granted, that wasn't a bad one. Like, I know Herobrine's like a goofy, jokey joke. Whatever. But like, that's not a bad creepypasta. I think taken out of context of like how memed and goofed it's been in the past however long since this was written, I think that's a pretty good creepypasta. Maybe aside from the fucking my brother died and now he's in the fucking game. Yo, if one of my siblings dies while I'm making my visual novel, I'm coding their spirit into the game, and there's really nothing they can do about it, because they're fucking dead. Alright. So, that's the end of the stream. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't know if the Nuzlocke can continue. We've lost a lot of really strong Pokemon, and now we're left at we're left at the victory road with what? Laptop. We're literally left with Laptop. That's like the best we can do. Excuse me. So like, it can, but it's gonna be a struggle, and I'm gonna have to grind, and that's not fun. It's not fun to watch, and it's not fun to play. It was a good run. I should have picked an easier Pokemon game to Nuzlocke for my first one. If I paid more attention to, I probably would have had less deaths. So yeah, I'll see how I feel next week. God, this next week is gonna be fucking crazy. I still have to pack.